So now we're done with the letters that look like English and sound like English, as well as the letters that look like English but are totally different. And these are the letters that are left. These are the letters that we need to memorize. And among them are 6 out of the 7 letters that are uniquely Coptic, that are not borrowed from the Greek language. I'm not going to take these in order necessarily, but we'll start with the epsilon because the epsilon has some rules associated with it, and it appears in a lot of Coptic words, and especially the words that we're going to look at for the rest of this presentation. The epsilon, if it's surrounded by consonants, if it doesn't have any vowel after it or before it, takes on a short I sound as in did or as in pin, similar to the iota. However, if it is preceded by a vowel, if a vowel comes before it, then it will have some special rules. So for example, if it's alpha epsilon, the epsilon takes a V sound, so now it's of in this case. Similarly, if it's followed, if it follows an A, it's ev. So we have of and ev. Again, the epsilon taking a V sound when when it follows an alpha or when it follows an A. However, things are a little different when it follows a short O. And in this case, the O followed by the epsilon is oo as in room or as in broom, oo. So we have of, ev, and oo. When it's surrounded by vowels, like in this case, when you have the short O, the epsilon, and the iota, then the epsilon takes a W type sound, and this becomes owe, in this case. Similarly, if it's followed by the alpha and the iota together, again, short O, epsilon, alpha, iota, in this case, this combination of letters is pronounced as uy, and uy is actually a Coptic word that means the number 1, uy. So again, we have of, ev, owe, and uy. Some more letters we need to memorize. The delta might be familiar to us. When it's used in proper names in Coptic, it takes a D sound, d as in David. Otherwise, however, and this is really the standard pronunciation of the delta, is a soft TH. And what I mean by a soft TH, I mean in words like this or the, as opposed to think or thought, where it's kind of a harder TH. So this is a soft TH for the delta. The lavla is the equivalent of the letter L in English, and it makes a L sound, so L as in lamb. This is the lavla. This letter will be familiar to us for those who have taken geometry or algebra or any math classes. This is the letter P in Coptic. In Greek, it's called pi, and it makes a P sound as in, well, pi. So P as in pi. This is the letter P in Coptic. Here we have the fe, which is a F sound or a PH sound, however you want to look at it. And it's F as in feather, or PH as in phone. So, fe. So let's do exercise 3 together. Again, I'll show you some words and you can try to read it on your own before I tell you what it is. So here's the first one. And I'll give you a hint. This is a proper name in Coptic. And this, in fact, is David. The delta in this case is pronounced as a D sound. And again, remember that combination of the alpha and the epsilon create an av sound. So this is David, and as you can imagine, it means David in Coptic. Here's another proper name. part of the trick to pronouncing this one, again, the delta takes a D sound because it is a proper name. But if you look at the iota and the eta that follows it, the iota is going to have a Y sound because the eta is considered a vowel in Coptic. So this is Daniel, Daniel. And Daniel means Daniel in Coptic. Here's an instance where the delta takes a soft TH sound. So why don't you go ahead and try this. So this is diakon, diakon. Diakon means deacon, diakon. Again, the delta has that soft TH sound, diakon. Finally, here's another one. Again, I'll give you a hint that the delta also has a soft TH sound. So this is despota, despota. Despota means lord or sovereign, despota. Let's do some more words in this exercise. I'll give you a hint here. Now we see the jinkum again over the fe, so it's going to add a short E sound before that F sound. And again, remember the pronunciation of the O followed by the epsilon. It gives you an oo sound, and the T at the end is pronounced T and not T. So here we have ifnuti, ifnuti. Nuti by itself means God, and usually when we say ifnuti, it refers to God, the God. So ifnuti means God. Try this one. So here we have the A followed by the epsilon, so that's going to give us the ev sound. In this case, this is a word that's borrowed from Greek, and so the K is going to have a K sound, and then the eta after that. So this is evki, evki. Evki should be a word that's familiar to us in the liturgy. For instance, the deacon instructs the people, epi prosevki istathite, which means stand up for prayer. Or when we say, he tenni evki, and then mention one of the saints, it means through the prayers of that particular saint. So, evki is prayer, evki. Again, the trick to this one is to pronounce each syllable. The jinkum over the omega makes it a syllable on its own. Again, the long O. Again, so this is P-O-U, P-O-U. P-O-U means the glory. O-U is glory, and P in this case is the. P-O-U, the glory. Finally, let's look at this word. Here again we have the second iota followed by the short O and the epsilon. In this case it's niseyu, niseyu. Niseyu means the stars. Ni in this case is the seyu. Again, the iota, that second iota has kind of a Y sound. Niseyu means the stars.